Hello everyone, Akash here. As you can see, I tried adding multiplayer to my Attack on Titan inspired movement FPS, and here is how it turned out. If you want to know more about my game, you can check out my previous devlog videos. Anyway, let's get started. Before I got to adding actual multiplayer, I already knew that my game had a big problem. Players are too fast to properly hit each other, so it needed some fixing. And that's why I decided to add aim assistance to the game. It's rather simple. When you're looking at someone, they get this little red circle on their head. It also moves to predict players' movement. Basically, your gun adjusts your bullets to fly closer to the circle, but it doesn't work on its full power, so it's not an aimbot. But that system wasn't enough to solve the problem, plus the game needed some interesting gameplay feature, and that's how I came up with the idea of target locking. So when you're targeted on someone, you can hold mouse wheel to lock on them. The target needs to stay in your view while you're doing that. When you have a lock on the target, your bullets adjust to it with more precision. If you are the one that gets locked on, you can deploy flares just like a real plane. That will remove all locks on you. Additionally, you can deploy those flares right into someone's face to make them blind. This will deactivate all their targeting systems for a few seconds. It's all good of course, but aim assistance circle only appears when you're directly looking at someone. The problem is that it's rather hard to spot enemies if you don't know where they are, so I decided to add highlights to them if they are far enough from you. This really made the game feel much better. After all those additions, it was finally time to add some multiplayer. But for multiplayer, you need a way to connect players with each other, and that's not easy to do by yourself. We are really lucky to have some already existing online subsystems to do that for us. I'm using Epic Online services because they are free to use with any platform and store. Epic Online services, or how we call them EOS, need to be set up, and that process is rather tricky. For some reason, there aren't many tutorials on how to set up and use EOS. There is only one series of tutorials on this theme, created by Sneaky Kitty Game Dev, so a big shout out for him. His videos were extremely helpful. Following his tutorials, I implemented session creation, destroying, logging in, finding sessions and joining them. The biggest problem here was the fact that you can't test joining a session when you have only one device. You're supposed to have at least 2 machines with 2 different accounts to test if your code is working. Of course I don't have such luxuries, so I did it in the way shown in the tutorials and crossed my fingers to hope that it's working. To test that all out, I needed some user interface to interact with the code I wrote, so I got to designing it. I tried to keep up to the style I used for my demo UI and added some sweet looking animations. I created player account menu, server browser and server hosted menu, because I don't have dedicated servers, so the players should host their games all by themselves. Next, I needed a way to put it all together, so I created this procedural selection widget. As you can see, there aren't many different icons for the options, but it's good enough for now. After adding all that to the main menu, the game was ready for some testing. I sent the game to my friends and... here was the time when I faced the first major issue. The thing said that the application access was restricted, and who knew what that meant? Luckily, I found an answer rather quickly. Basically, my project wasn't verified by Epic, so they couldn't allow anyone to log into it. And to verify my game, I needed to show them my domain, which I obviously didn't have. The solution was rather simple. I had to register my friends as a part of my team in Epic Dev Portal organization settings. So I invited them, but we couldn't figure out how to accept the invitation. A few minutes later, we found out that the invitation came to their email, and then it was just a matter of clicking one button. When my friends became members of my organization, we finally managed to play the game!
Вообще круто,
Игра
динамично,
и супер
быстро
офигенно.
бегаешь, стреляешь,
И
бьешься,
супер офигенно.
здорово.
So playing the game was a lot of fun, and the best part was that it was really working. There were some bugs and instabilities, but for the first test it worked really well. After the test I did some bug fixing and planning for the future. Next steps will be adding some player customization and nickname displaying, plus a proper game mode would also be nice. But after all this I got rather tired, so I'll probably take a small break from coding and look more into the visuals of the game, so subscribe not to miss my next video about it. Okay, this video is coming to its end. Hope you had fun, I know I did. See ya!